I had gone over to my sister's house one afternoon, just thinking it was going to be for a visit. And during that conversation, what showed up was that it was time for me to take over the management of a house that we share together on an island, off the coast of Maine. And while she started to basically share all the things that were on her mind about the house, I was, rapidly taking notes of all these things that probably were going to be new projects for me and things like that. Um, while I was doing that, I was starting to feel a little overwhelmed. I was starting to think in the back of my mind, how am I going to create space for all of this? And realizing that I had some new roles and responsibilities. So after the conversation, gave her a big hug. She was very relieved. And I came home with all these notes. Now, I could have put them in my inbox to clarify and organize later, but I decided it was a Saturday afternoon. I decided, you know what? I don't want to go into the rest of my weekend feeling overwhelmed with all these new roles and responsibilities that I have. Let me unpack them now. So take out my little trusty workflow map. That's the clarifying and organizing, took all the stuff from the notes from my sister and grabbed probably 5 new projects that I had. And then I was like, so what's the next action? With all 5 of the projects, none of the next actions were self-evident. I had no idea how to get a new septic system, how to get a new roof. I had never done getting a new roof. We had to resolve some property. We had to resolve some felled trees in the back lots. We had to resolve some taxes. And I didn't know what the next action was for any of them. But this is the power of the next action thinking, which was I took each project and I said, if there was nothing else I could do in the universe but get a new septic system, what would be the next action? And when it's not self-evident, you have to kind of slow down and do the thinking. I know that this is all, none of this is new, but how do you take things like that conversation that you may have personally and professionally, capture all of that, clarify and organize that as soon as you can to get in the driver's seat of those new possible roles and responsibilities, projects, and actions? So I went through each one of the projects, came up with a next action with each one of them, and then I didn't feel overwhelmed anymore. Even though nothing in my environment had changed, I hadn't done any of the next actions because all of them couldn't be done on a Saturday. And I find that so powerful. I just find it still so amazing that when you get clarity on the stuff and then you really think about what is the next visible, physical next action to move it forward, what happens when you do that, even though you didn't do that next action. So fast forward, 2 of the projects are completed. The septic system has been installed. We have a new roof. I have a very happy sister. 3 projects are still in motion. And the thing is that would they have gotten done? Would the septic system and roof gotten done? Yes, of course they still would have been done. But would they have been done in a very efficient and effective way? No. Would it have been done in a very reactionary way? Yes, probably, because my old MO before learning GTD was I would just wait for my sister to nag me just to say, what are you doing with the septic system? It's like, oh, I need to work on the septic system. And then that would put me in a really reactionary place versus a proactive place. And it cracks me up because I'm still considered the baby sister to my sister. And she just was like so impressed that I've gotten all these projects done. And I've gotten them done in such a efficient and effective way. And I keep saying, yeah, because I implement and practice the getting things done methodology. Anyways, I just really recommend that when those next actions that you have on your plate are not self-evident, to pull out your workflow, clarifying and organizing map, walk yourself through the clarifying questions, put those results in your trusted system so that you can review your options to be able to do them. So again, when something is not self-evident, slow down, take a breath. You will figure out what the next action is. and give it a try more consciously to think about what's the next action, particularly when it's not self-evident.